My section in chapter 6 was on entrepreneurship. Um, this section discusses the new business creation by entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, and also goes in depth on the entrepreneurial process. Um, when people think entrepreneur, they normally think of like small businesses, um, and like businesses that are just starting up from the ground. But actually, organizations of all sizes look to be more entrepreneurial. The book gave us an example of the major league team, San Francisco Giants, and it said that they were trying to be more entrepreneurial every day. So that's an example of a bigger organization being more entrepreneurial. The chapter also goes through the differences between entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs. And entrepreneurs are commonly known to start new small business ventures, whereas entrepreneurs start a new line of business within a larger organization. So start a business within a business, basically. Um, Entrepreneurship activities. No new venture can be created without doing these activities, and they include creating new products or processes, entering new markets, creating business ventures and organizations, and productivity techniques. And those productivity techniques include developing a product, speeding up manufacturing, and delivering existing products to the customer in a new, fast way. So those are all important when starting up on a new venture, and without those, it's nearly impossible to go about starting up a new business. It makes it very difficult. Um, the textbook goes more in depth about the difference between entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs, and it goes from small business entrepreneurs versus large business entrepreneurs. Um, Small business is a business that is independently owned and operated with a small number of employees. I think the book said less than 200 employees, um, but I might be, could be more. Uh, and it also said that the small businesses are a key in economic growth because 90% of America's organizations are small businesses, and they create 80% of the new jobs throughout America. So without small businesses, there'd be a lot of people without jobs. Um, and most large businesses start off as like a small underground company, such as like Apple, Amazon, and Facebook. Like Amazon started in a garage, and now it's like it is the like biggest place to shop online. So, and then for large business entrepreneurs, comparing that to the small businesses, um, they employ. The book says it is defined by a business that employs 500 or more workers. So, and the difference between like the people in the larger businesses try to get all their employees to um, think more like entrepreneurs instead of just being like a part of their organization. They want to like make them think like the owners, basically. Um, and major companies, it said in the book that major companies spend billions of dollars on working on entrepreneurship within their company. Um, Risk taking by entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs. The textbook also went into depth on that, because starting a new business is risky because the failure rate is so high for new businesses in America, and entrepreneurs also don't get a real paycheck. They get profits and losses. So, like I know it said in the book that um, some entrepreneurs can go a year without getting their first paycheck because they have to keep putting money in to run the business instead of getting their own profit. Um, Entrepreneurs usually also uh, quit their jobs to like start up this new business. So most of the time they can't go just like they can't quit their job and then just go back to it when the business just runs out. Like they have to go find a new job. Um, entrepreneurs has no risk of entrepreneurs have no risk of investment, of personal investment, because it is all funded by the business itself. Because the entrepreneur works within the business, so the business finances itself. So the people that are working on those are normally just assigned to those missions or objectives or whatever, and they have to go and do that. And if they fail, then it's on the business. That's like financially hurts the business, yeah, but not like the individual person. Um, Also, if the venture fails, they'll in entrepreneurship where they're within the company, they won't have to like go out and find a job. Most likely they'll still be able to have their same job, if a similar job, within what they had, where they were before. And the biggest thing in this chapter was the entrepreneur process, um, which starts at selecting the new venture, then planning the new venture, financing the new venture, and then finally controlling the new venture. When it comes to selecting the new venture, so first step to entrepreneurship is selecting the new venture you want to start up. Many things for doing so would be like to help the society out, like it said in the book, like the Tom's creator did one where if you buy Tom's shoe, then they'll give a pair of Tom shoes to somebody in need. So that was his reason for starting up. Um, Another key to starting up a business is to make sure that your business has a competitive advantage. Like, why should people choose your business over others? Because there's no competitive advantage, and you're just destined to fail. Um, Next step of the entrepreneurial process is planning the new venture. So basically, just come up with a business plan. It said in the book that though there were successful business plans or not business, successful organizations that didn't have business plans, it was still like highly recommended to do a business plan, because without being organized, it's going to be hard to stay on task and make sure you get the things done properly to get the business started as best as possible. And it said in the book, it said there's two questions that need to be answered within the plan, and it's how do I make a market, and when will the venture be profitable? And then the last two sections in the entrepreneurial process, financing the new venture and controlling the new venture. So financing the new venture, you need money to start up a business, which makes the risk even higher, because most people take it out of their savings, whether they're saving up all their life or like have to get large loans from the bank. And in getting large loans, you normally have to have a good business plan. So if you don't have a business plan, it's gonna be hard to get a large loan, unless your money is funded by like the customers finance your early growth. Then that would be a way. But otherwise, you're probably gonna need to take a lot of money out of your savings or get a loan. It's also big to make. It said it was also big to make sure to not give away too much of your stock to your company, because um, if you do, then like you're destined to you can get fired from the very venture you started. And it said that Steve Jobs did this. Steve Jobs and Andrew Mason did this with Groupon, and it like messed them up. Last step in the entrepreneurial process is based on your business plan. So mostly hard work and dedication makes a successful business. Be prepared to work 80 hours a week and not getting a paycheck for a year. Like I said, like dedication comes with entrepreneurship. And it also, at the end of the chapter, it also touches on trends and issues in management. It says there's many issues within management, such as gender, race, and age and education. And it just showed that it says like gender says more males start new ventures than females, but neither has a higher failure rate. And there's businesses like Buffalo Wild Wings that is female founded, and so it's like kind of changing, but it's still the same, where white males basically are still just like are the head of the entrepreneurship game. Overall, I believe this is a very important section because we are seeing entrepreneurship more and more in today's society, and knowing how to manage your risk and the hardships of starting a new business make the overall process a lot smoother. So yeah, thank you.